Hello ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do a patch 13.10 rundown. Basically, this is one of the biggest patches released in a long time. Mid-season update, a lot of big changes, a complete rework and rehaul of the AD carry system in terms of the itemization, and they're going to restructure some of the power distribution in the items. I read through the AD carry changes mostly on I read through the changes, so we're going to skim through them. I'm going to give you kind of like a rundown and a general gist of it, of what my ideas are. Let's just see. Basically, Ginzu's being changed. I didn't like the order of how they did these. Ginzu's changed, so it's going to have AP. Currently, Ginzu doesn't have AP, so they just want to make it feel more impactful on the champions that don't have AP scalings. So they're adding AP scalings. For example, here, Dirty Fighting, passive is up, and also the shield value, I don't know what this means, scaling non-linear base stat growth. Alright, so it's just nerfed, okay? And then Q is going to have more move speed depending on your AP. So that's cool. I like the fact that they added AP scalings to elements that don't have AD scaling, so you can feel like you have options in terms of what you do, so that's nice. Callista, E, AP ratios added to slow, so slow is improved by AP. And then some physical, basically some physical damage of the 20%. I like these changes because obviously if you want to add AP to Ginzu, you also want the non-AP scaling. So it's like a Varus, Kaiser, Kog'Maw, Kayle. These are all champions that already enjoy these AP scalings. So why not give it to the other champions that also want to buy this item? I can't really rate how strong or impactful this is going to be, I'm not gonna lie, but these are just some minor changes just to make it feel a little bit better, the fact that you have AP. Neeko, I think Neeko is a champion that already had good clear speed, but they're improving her clear speed for some reason, and then improved AP scaling on R. I think this is going to definitely make people play more Neeko. And I wouldn't be surprised if she gets a nerf in the next patch as the play rate increases. But currently she has very low win ratio. But I think that's just because I think a lot of, probably this champion has a bit of a learning curve to it. Vayne, Q-AP ratio also to once again facilitate a champion that wants to buy Ginzu. Critical strike item changes. So BT is now being reworked. So basically the AD is a change, is the same. The lifesteal is 3% up, and basically when you're above 50% health, you'll get engorged, which is a funny word. Gain an additional 10 to 40 attack damage based on level. So basically if you are healthy, you're going to get AD, and this is definitely an item that's going to look very strong. Maximum value, we're thinking basically 95 AD. That is a massive boost. So I think BT is going to be an item that definitely is going to be bought a lot as a third item option. I think in most cases we're going to see either Stormrazor Static Shiv into IE BT. I think that's going to be the build path unless you need LDR to kill the tanks. But this is 95. I really like the shift of power, right? I really like the shift of power because I think a problem is never that AD carries are doing a lot of damage. I think the problem is that they were practically unkillable in a lot of context, right? So basically, instead of the enemy having a big shield, you get more damage, and I think that makes sense. I don't think it's a problem at all that AD carries do a lot of damage, but the issue is when they are unkillable. And I think these massive shields that they were walking around with, especially in a game where the shield breaking items are quite terrible and very hard to fit into composition, it's like Shadow Flame. Shadow Flame is the item that gets maximum value when a target is shielded. Like, that's so weird. So Shadow Flame is the item to break shields, or like Serpent's Fang. Who can buy Serpent's Fang? Yeah, enemy Shaco can buy Serpent's Fang. Where do we see Serpent's Fang? Like, that is not not good. I think AD carries should do a lot of damage, but they should always pay a price for safety. Braum, yes, Braum can buy Serpent's Fang. Very true, guys. Good job. You guys are paying attention. But I have to add, of course, the Yasuo brothers, Yasuo and Yon, are very unhappy with a change like this because they would rather have the index on survivability. So this sucks for them. Sucks super hard. Gale Force. Gale Force, 5 AD down, attack speed down, and then 7% move speed. So basically a little bit of shift in the efficiency, but I think 7% bonus move speed is nice, right? This is big. Dash and deal 150 to 350 based on critical chance. So basically this is going to scale up with crit. Physical damage to the lowest nearby enemy, prioritizing champions. Damage is increased based on your target's missing health. Cooldown 90 seconds. So the cooldown is down 20 seconds because before it's 110. Maximum execution threshold, 25% current health. So we talked about Yon and Yasuo. I think that I will probably want to try Yon and Yasuo with Gale Force. It's like, when we think about Yon and Yasuo, Gale Force, it's going to be like Assassin Yon and Yasuo because they reach crit values much quicker. So they get 50% on the first item, right? And that means already the Gale Force damage is going to be amplified by 125 base. And then within one additional item, I don't know how good Static Shiv or whatever other items is going to be in, it's like reaching that 250 bonus damage breakpoint is going to be so easy. So your Gale Force is going to do like 500 plus damage very early on in the game, and that could get funky. Maybe we have some Yon Yasuo assassins showing up. Who knows? Tryndamere too. Yes, Tryndamere is also another one, right? I think this is the only hope for Tryndamere, Yon, and Yasuo. But then you can't buy IE. I think IE in a lot of cases is a very premium item for Yon and Yasuo. It's like, IE is nice and all, but you have more important problems to solve for these champions before you look at DPS. Because damage they have an abundance of, right? It's like, in a lot of games, previously, you play Yon and Yasuo, you went shield bow into IE, right? And even in those games, you might just completely lose, right? Because doing a lot of damage is not something that these champions lack. But maybe. This is just a crazy idea, right? Crazy little idea that I'm going to add there for you homies, because the Gale Force damage boost is very easy to reach, right? But of course, on the opposite side of it, it's like IE is a good argument because IE for you also scales with crit, right? Also scales with crit, so I just think that Yon and Yasuo are going to have a really hard time to operate because they are going to lose a lot of their survivability that they got from these items like BT and also Shield Bow Mythic, right? We continue. A key thing here, right? This remains a mythic, price doesn't change, and the mythic passive is now 5 AD. This kind of looks a little bit weak to me, 5 AD, but we continue. Typhoon, blah blah blah. Ginzu's Rage Blade. So it increases the cost, and now we're going to have 25% attack speed instead of 45, and then 30 AP, 30 AD. So we talked about the AP, we changed it before. Wrath, attacks apply 30 magic damage on hit, convert your critical strike chance into up to 150 more. So it is magic damage now instead of physical, which is a big deal, right, in terms of your damage distribution. Basic attacks grant a stack of 8% attack speed up to 4 times. At max stacks, every third attack applies on hit effects twice. I believe that my understanding will be that the duration of this will be very similar to the previous one. Maybe we'll see like the return of maybe Heal of Blades for the Kog'Maws and the Varoses, just to stack this up quicker. Lethal Tempo probably will be still just as strong, so I don't know about that. The biggest thing here for your Varus and your Kog and your Kaiser, right? So we're going to put them here in the Varus, Kog'Maw, Kaiser school. It's just Ginzu is incredibly strong. Why is it incredibly strong? Because a big issue of these champions is the fact that Void and LDR sucks. You say Kalista, but Kalista doesn't belong quite the same here. Kalista didn't have the same issue because Kalista is more in the Samira class, right? The main thing about Kalista is that she deals full physical damage. Sure, her W does magic damage, but these champions could buy LDR. The key thing here that they lose is Shield Bow. The fact that Shield Bow is no longer a mythic, I think that hurts them a lot more. So basically you guys are missing the point, because you're mentioning champions that do full physical damage, and these champions could easily buy LDR. The key difference here is that Varus is mixed damage, Kog'Maw is mixed damage, and Kaiser's mixed damage. So Ginzu solves a very important issue for them. It's just that 6% magic pen and 5% armor pen on Mythic passive is very big. Very big. Very big. I think Kalista and Samira are probably more hurt by the fact that Shield Bow is no longer a mythic. But maybe I'm over considering it because Shield Bow is still an item that you can buy, right? So maybe like you just go Shield Bow into Ginzu still and it's perfectly fine. So I'm not so sure how big of a change this is, because maybe you can just go Shield Bow still into mythic. Like maybe you go Shield Bow into Ginzu, into Kalista, and you're happy. Okay. But we continue. I just think this is a massive quality of life buff, right? And it also allows you to be a little bit more experimental with your item choices, right? It allows you to maybe go, like the Nashor's Tooth is going to feel much better now, right? Like on the Kaiser that you play, the Ginzu and the Nashor's Tooth, and maybe it's like there's going to be so many added synergies to AP and magic damage. So the champions that already have that in a part of their kit won't have to face that problem as before. So it's a massive quality of life buff. Not quality of life, but just a buff. I don't need to add quality of life. Do you think people will build Ginzu and Void Staff? No, I don't think so, because I just don't think so. Because a lot of these champions that buy Ginzu necessarily don't want to buy Void. Heartbound X, this is a very positive change, right? The key thing here is the recipe cost being down. The issue with Heartbound X, and it's still probably going to be true, it will practically be true damage though. No, it doesn't stack additively. It's multiplicatively. So when you have multiple sources of percentage pen, it becomes worse. And people were not buying Void on Kog'Maw before this, right? So why would they do it now if they're playing AD carry Kog, right? When is this patch out? I think they delayed it 1 day, Wunder. So the key thing here about Heartbound Axe, in my opinion, is just longsword, longsword. So it's like probably when I'm playing and I want to buy Heartbound Axe, I'm not gonna fucking finish this item. I'm just gonna be happy with the fact that I can buy longsword, longsword. That is good for lane. I think this is the fact that you can buy double longsword and the recipe cost being down is super good. So just buy double longsword, don't finish Heartbound Axe still, and just play your lane with double longsword. And I think that's super cool. Immortal Shield Bow. So it's no longer a mythic and it's cheaper. So basically you've lost 20% of your attack speed for the cost of 400 Gs, and it's no longer a mythic. You get attack speed when Lifeline is triggered, and of course you don't have a mythic passive. I don't know, this looks pretty weak to me, but I don't know the solution to the champions that actually wanted to buy Shield Bow. I don't know the solution. Maybe these champions will still buy it because they just need survivability, because they need to get up close and fight. And maybe those champions will actually struggle, you know? We will have to see. Crit Olaf with Gale Force? That would be fun. The build path is Pickaxe, Cloak of Agility, Vampiric Scepter, and 625 gold. I think that's okay, like Pickaxe and Vampiric, and then collecting 1225 gold. I think it's perfectly fine, but this just looks like such a weak item. So I just, in my mind, I think that Kalista, Samira, the Shield Bow Enjoyers just have to be worse. There's no way they are not worse, in my mind. Okay? But maybe there is, I don't know. I just, this just looks rough to me. But it is cheaper. So maybe there's like some place, right? It's like, you buy a Shield Bow, like let's say this is a build path. Like let's say, like what I would want to try is like, let's say you go Berserker Greaves into, so this is Kalista, right? Berserker Greaves into... You just go Rage Knife, okay? Into Shield Bow, Ginzu. Maybe this is a build. Knife. Before finishing the Shield Bow. But I don't know how good it is. I really don't know. Like I'm cooking here impromptu. Is Ginzu bad to rush? The thing is, it scales off of crit, right? So that's where my headspace is at. But the active is quite strong. Like when you fully stack it. It's like let's pull up the LoL wiki and check out the stat efficiency of it. Because that part is important. So cost analysis, on hit damage. Look at that, by the way. Ginzu's Rageblade gold efficiency is increased by 16.7%. That is a crazy number right there. Juicy, juicy, juicy. Maybe there's a world where you can buy Ginzu first, honestly. Could be a world. Because Rage Knife is very strong. Kinda hard to put a number on Pen? Yeah, it is. Like for Kalista, definitely this is whatever. Like for Kalista, this is definitely not a champion that can use it, right? Kale top with Ginzu becoming meta? I doubt it, because it's like it depends on how good the... I don't know how strong the last Kale buffs were. I don't know. Like maybe this is gonna make Kale OP or whatever, but like Kale still faces the same issues. She didn't have itemization problems before. So I don't know how well the Kale buffs landed. So I'm not so sure. But yeah, I'm not so sure about Kalista. Like, her not having shield bow first is tough. It's tough. Maybe the carries are just gonna be completely broken. We continue. Infinity Edge. This is a massive nerf. Massive nerf. Massive nerf, why? Because all the AD carries that were buying this paired it together with a Gale Force. So it's like, if we think about the IE enjoyers, okay? IE Gale Force. Who comes to mind, right? It's obviously Caitlyn. Jinx is arguable, right? Aphelios, right? It's also like the Navori. Navori is the same way, right? Navori Gale Force enjoyers is like Zaya, right? There is Lucian is also here, right? Lucian Nami, right? We don't need to list every champion in the game, right? But you guys get the gist of it. It's like, if I think of these champions up here, the way I would itemize is I would probably look to go Storm Razor first / Static Shiv, depending on which one just comes out of the gate the most OP, and then I would follow up with Infinity into BT / LDR, and then follow up with BT / LDR, whichever one you don't buy, right? Because these are probably going to be the go-to items to buy. I think when you look at Zaya, Lucian, maybe there's room. Like, I think Essence Reaver is still insanely OP, especially like 55 AD is insane on Essence Reaver, right? So it's like there's going to be a world where maybe Zaya Lucian is just going to go Essence Reaver first into something. Could be something, right? So we have to see. But at least this is what I see myself building. Like if I'm going into my first game with Caitlyn Aphelios and these type of ADs, I think that I would look to buy Stormrazor or Static Shiv first. And then IE, BT, LDR, and then BT, LDR. It's just BT, you can't buy it early. And IE rush should be bad. IE should be bad to rush. So I think that you should either buy Stormrazor or Static Shiv. Kirsch's chart, I think this is a good quality of life, 15 AD and then 350 for the effect. I think that this is going to be like a decent lane item. I think walking back to lane with 700 gold and such an item, I think this is a decent item. I think this is going to also make bot lane a little bit more interesting because you need to play around your proc and so forth. I think this is nice. I think this is decent. Mythic into a legendary item, 3k, 25 AD down, attack speed up. Every attack applies 20 to 60% total AD plus 45% AP bonus magic damage. So it's once again magic damage, right? So it's like, this is once again a very, very big bonus for the homies that are buying Ginzus, right? Ginzus still, it's like Navori. The Navori Gale Force enjoyers, maybe they just go Essence Reaver Gale Force. Maybe this will just be the build, right? Maybe this is... right? But nevertheless, like, once again, the fact that Kraken Slayer is just magic damage and scales off of AP and also, of course, AD. So it's not like... It's like, if you're not buying Ginzu, you're buying a Mythic that gives you more AD. So the scaling will be on par, but the fact that it does magic damage, I think, is a big plus, right? It is a big plus to me because I think Kraken Slayer also being a on-hit effect, it works together with Ginzu well and so forth. I think just Kraken is an item that will be the heavy DPS option for ADCs like Varus, Kog'Maw, Kai'Sa. And once again, subsequent triggers on the same target within 6 seconds increases damage by 50%, up to a maximum of 100% increased damage. So you are definitely heavily incentivized to proc this often, right? So Ginzu comes to mind, right? Ginzu really, really comes to mind. Mercurial Scimitar 10 MR up, I think that's perfectly fair. 5 AD for Mortal Reminder, okay. These are two items that are very rarely bought. Buffing them, I think it's okay. Right.
Battle cruiser operational.
Yo. Thank you very much, Tenki. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then Navori. It's the same exact item, but the difference is 5 ability haste. And that's it. Right? That's it. But it's also a mythic. Right? So you have to choose. Are you going this or are you going Gale Force? That's why, you know, the Zaya is worse, as an example, right? Noon Quiver is the same, but it doesn't build into mythics. Phantom Dancer, I think 200 gold is a bit rough, right? But looking at the other items, it's like the access to attack speed. Kind of nice, you get 10 ability hits on GP for free. Oh, GP I didn't think about, right? But I don't know if you want to get like Yumu's Ghostblade on GP because of how OP it is. Maybe you just want to get Yumu's Ghostblade. AD carry, Crowny was saying ADC was getting nerfed. ADC is for sure nerfed. Of course it's nerfed. I think there is no other way to view this. Of course AD carry is getting nerfed. It's like all of the strong AD carries are getting nerfed, but Varus, Kog'Maw, Kai'Sa, champions that are not being played that much, are getting buffed. But for sure AD carries are getting nerfed. For sure. There's going to be some crazy outlier builds, for sure. It's just a meta shift? No, this is a nerf. How can you, like, no, this is a plain and simple nerf. There's no meta shift. There's no, There's no hidden meaning. This is a plain and simple nerf. AD is not being able to buy Gale Force together with their DPS Mythic, which is IE or Navori. It's just plain and simple nerf. There's nothing else to it. It's a nerf. It's just a nerf. Maybe Varus, Kog'Maw, Kai'Sa, these champions are going to be super strong, but that's it, right? It's healthy for the game. I want to say that I really like these changes. I like these changes. I really like these changes. I think that probably Xayah is going to buy Essence Reaver now as a filler item and then maybe go in some kind of direction, but Xayah is not going to have a good time in this patch. That's for sure. Maybe you just like, don't play Gale Force and we will see. Alright, we scroll down. We continue. Rage Knife. I think this sounds pretty good as an item. Alright. Walk into lane with this item. I think this sounds pretty good. You can stack this on minions, of course. I think this sounds like a pretty strong item. I think 1200 gold for this in some specific context. Attack speed is pretty useless because it's like attack speed implies that you can posture to hit again, right? And sometimes you can't. And sometimes having upfront burst is more important, like in the form of AD than attack speed. But I don't think Rage Knife looks too weak here, right? That's why I mentioned before, like Kalista, you go, for example, Vampiric Scepter into Rage Knife, maybe something like that. Maybe there's some room there, right? Rapid Fire Cannon, I think this is a really, really big hit, but it goes in the same line of thinking. It's like, what's up with your nose? Stop rubbing it all the time. Yeah, I don't know. It's like my, what's it called? My pre-workout has like a lot of beta-alanine and my nose becomes itchy because of it. I don't know. No coke, no. No coke at all. I've been sitting here the entire time here. I've never done coke in my life, actually. I wish. Obviously, I'm joking. Thank you very much, Science Fly, for the Prime Gaming. Appreciate it. So, once again, this is the same line of thinking, right? Rapid Fire Cannon is an item that provides you safety. It provides you safety. And they've nerfed that too. Is that the fact that this item costs 500 gold, I don't care that the item efficiency has increased by 5%. Because that's what it is, right? It went from 80 to 85. I don't care too much about that. If I'm buying this, I'm not buying it for the sake of stats, I'm buying it for the effect, and having that effect at the 3000 gold point is definitely a nerf, right? You get AD, which can be nice. Wait, what are you saying, Wunder? Yeah, I need a crit cloak for Rage Knife? No, this item grants 20 magic damage on hit. You don't need crit here. This has nothing to do with crit, the Rage Knife. Oh, okay, okay, before you did. Okay, 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 no, I understand. Okay, okay. My bad, I misunderstood you. Yeah, I think this looks like a decent lane item, for sure, yeah. But yeah, I think the fact that this effect comes at a 500 higher gold point, it's like, sure, AD can be nice, right? Because a lot of the champions that did buy this, they want to bonk and they want to hit you hard, like Caitlyn. The 30 AD can be nice, but this is a very premium price point. So, like, having this item 500 gold later can definitely, like, hurt the window of pressure that you want to leverage. Recurve Bow, 700 Gs, dagger. It's like, my mind is kind of melting to all of the new recipes. So I can't really, like, when I read Shield Recurve Bow, I don't know if I've missed that it builds to some item. It's like, here, Longsword, Zeal, Longsword, Hardbound Axe, Zeal. Like, is there more Recurve Bow recipes that I missed? I'm not so sure. Here, for example, Noon Quiver, Cloak of Agility, Recurve Bow. So, okay. So there's that, okay. Bork, okay. Dagger, dagger and 400 gold. Okay. 15% magic damage. Oh, I guess it's okay, right? It's like, whoever wants to buy Recurve Bow, usually inherently, like, is very auto-attack reliant. So, if I compare 15 bonus magic damage to, let's say, like, 15 AD. Obviously, there's abilities in the game that have AD scaling, so you're going to miss out some damage there. But if I look at this, spending 700 gold for 15% attack speed and 15 bonus magic damage on hit, it doesn't feel too shit. It doesn't feel too shit, I think. I think that's okay. Runan's Hurricane, 200 gold up. Zeal Recurve Bow, 1000 gold for the recipe. Attack speed down 5, and attacks apply 30 magic damage on hit. We have that Ginzo synergy once again, right? With the magic damage. And then total AD up to also be on par with any potential Ginzo mechanics if you want to, of course, buy this champion, like buy this on other champions, right? I think that's important to note, that a lot of these items that have AP scalings, they also have AD scalings, and usually if you don't have Ginzo, it means you have more AD, right? I feel really weird about the prevalence of so much magic damage in these items. I think it's such a weird element, because it's either going to be, it might just turn into a nightmare to itemize against if you're playing tanks. It's like, oh, I'm playing against this AD and he has Ginzu and Kraken Slayer. So let's say I'm playing against a Kaiser who has Ginzu, Kraken Slayer. Like, what the fuck do I itemize? I have to buy chains. Yeah, exactly, chain stonks. I just have to buy chains. I have to put chains on enemy AD. I just have to buy chains and put it on enemy AD, because I can't itemize against them. Especially like Force of Nature is getting nerfed, right? Static Shiv. I think that this item together with Storm Razor look very strong. So let's start with Static Shift. 3000 gold point, 25% attack speed, 45 AD, Noon Quiver, Cloak of Agility, Kirch's Shard. The key thing here, right, is I look at Noon Quiver and Kirch's Shard because I want to avoid the Cloak of Agility, and then I base on 1000 gold. I think that's very fair, right? I think that's something that I can piece together as an AD carry player. 45 AD, 25% attack speed, 20%. Your Edged attack fires chain lightning that applies 60 to 170 plus 150 bonus AP bonus magic damage. So I don't know here, this kind of feels weird, right? That this only has an AP scaling and it doesn't have an AD scaling. I think that kind of feels like shit. I think this 50% AP scaling definitely takes my mind to a place where there will be abuse cases. So that's going to be interesting. Like, my idea was I'm going to buy this as 6th item on Gwen. It's like, I think that the AP scaling here is way too high. I don't know why it's 50. 50 is very strange. Because at least if I look at Kraken, right? If I look at Kraken Slayer. If I look at Kraken Slayer, it's like 45% AP bonus magic damage and then 60% total, right? Total AD. So it's like, oh, we want to make sure that it feels valuable, right? Another thing that is important here that I'm not so sure about, that maybe we can look up, is just how the damage is scaling. Let me pull up Static Shift. Static Shift. At least, right, the Kraken proc doesn't bounce on 12 enemies, and it is something that you need to hit a couple of times to stack, right? It's alright. I really wanted to add here that it's like Gnasher's Tooth really has gotten so much better for AD carries with all of these changes. Gnasher's Tooth has gotten so much better with all of these changes. Really big Gnasher's Tooth buff. Take it as you will. Big Gnasher's Tooth buff. Why are AD carries getting all these attentions? Because AD carry is clearly a broken role, so... What was I thinking? Alright, Static Shift. So Static Shift based on level. Oh, okay. This definitely makes it worse to rush. Okay. Huh. Well, this makes it worse to rush. But it's increased to 220% against minions. Hmm. And then this is 6, 9, 12. Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. I was thinking to buy this first, but now Stormrazor just looks a lot more attractive to buy first. Like, it looks a lot more attractive to buy first. So let me just show you Stormrazor, just so you guys are in the loop with the information that I have available. Stormrazor, 3000 gold, BF, Cloak of Agility, Kirche's Shard. Now it's Noon Quiver, Cloak of Agility, Kirche's Shard. Your energized attack applies 25 plus 65% total AD plus 50% AP bonus magic damage and grants 45% move speed. So this is 65% total AD. Maybe this is what is going to save Jhin. Because it's 65% total AD. That is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. At least with Static Shiv, right? At least the damage. Like, I don't know why they wouldn't normalize the scaling. Like what is the reason to not make it scale from 1 to 18? I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. Thank you very much, Gelu. I appreciate it. Thank you for the Prime Gaming. So this is strange. But at least in my mind, I think that Stormrazor Static Shiv will be like the go-to first item to buy for the big 80 swing item enjoyers. So 55 AD, this could be an item to rush. I think this is an item that you could rush. Yasuo can also buy Stormrazor. I don't think it makes sense. For Yasuo, I don't think this makes sense. I don't. So it's like, I would try buying these two items first. Aphelios BTIE? No, I think you go... Basically, this is the itemization path I would do. I would do Stormrazor, IE, BT, LDR. This is what the direction I would go in. How about a champs like Samira? If you don't get IE Navori, go Stridebreaker? Stridebreaker Rush? Where do you go after Stridebreaker? I'm not sure. A little gore drinker Samira with the Omni Vamp. Okay. Collector, I think this buff is just for non-AD carries. I think this collector buff is for GP. I think the collector change is for Shaco, for Rengar, for all of the homies that are one-shotting you out of stealth. I think collector is an assassin item. Maybe on Samira, she counts as an assassin, I think, to some degree. But yeah, that's it, right? I don't think 6 lethality up makes it attractive enough to buy on 80 carries. Maybe on, like if you're snowballing turbo with Caitlyn, or with Aphelios, this could be a first item rush. Like if I walk to lane with Kate with a serrated Dirk and I know I'm turbo snowballing, I think collector could be a first item purchase. So, like, collector. I don't know how to spell assassins. I just wrote ass twice. Is it assassins? No, it's ass-ins. Alright. The weird thing about AD carry, right, is AD carries interaction with lethality is very weird because lethality scales with level. If I'm a Yasuo enjoyer, I would go and try Gale Force. I would try Gale Force. That's where I would go. Just fucking Gale Force, try to swifty macro people. Like right now, if I'm Yasuo in game, I would try like Greaves, Zeal, Vampiric, and then I would go Gale Force, Shield Bow into whatever. This Gale Force is key, I think. I think this is the key. I really think Gale Force is the key. BT is a lot worse, I think, for Yasuo. BT is a lot worse. No, Shield Bow, I think, probably makes more sense than BT. Maybe you go BT here, right? Yeah, maybe you can go BT or whatever. Gale Force collect Yasuo. It's just very hard to like, very hard to operate. Yeah, I agree. Ezreal is turbo. Ezreal should be turbo. Yeah, I agree with that. Ezreal should be turbo. Let's read the assassin item changes. Night Stalker passive, okay, your spell deal up an additional 50% bonus magic damage based on target's missing health, maximize at 20% remaining health. This is only spells, okay? When a champion you have damage within 3 past seconds dies, you become invisible for 1.5 seconds. When a champion you have damage within 3 past seconds dies, you become untargetable by known structures. This effect does not destroy incoming missiles and breaks upon taking any action that would never normally exit stealth. 10-second cooldown. This is, I think, a turbo nerf. This is a big nerf. I think this is a big nerf. Because you can still take damage from... like, it's just worse. It's just worse. But to be honest, I think Duskblade was so fucking unhealthy. Like, it was so unhealthy. It allowed champions to 1v9 in the game. And... in a world where they've made it so much harder for practically everyone to 1v9, there are still some like bozos with Kha'Zix, with Rengar and whatever, and they can just kill everyone because of Duskblade. You can move and can't be hit by abilities. How is this a nerf? Guys, someone explain invisibility to my homie here. Like... invisibility, you can't target invisible people either. Sure, you have some effects that reveal, but you can't really target invisible people either. But now you see them, and it's also a 10-second cooldown. And the nerf is compensated by this bonus damage based on target's missing health, which could be nice, but I think that I would never ever in a million years buy this if Yumu's Ghostblade exists. So I don't believe that this will reach live servers. I can't believe that it will. I can't believe this item. When I read this, this is on 100%. It's legendary. Where does it say that it's legendary? It doesn't say anything about it being legendary. Let's check the wiki. That's great. Still a mythic, son. Still a mythic. Still a mythic. Yeah. This item looks completely bonkers. So you have 3,100, 60 AD, 5 ability haste. Bonus move speed, active, increased by 5%. The passive haunt is gone, so you don't have the out of combo move speed. No more turbo shoes. Moving generates spectral shards up to 100. For each stack, gain 0.4 move speed. So maximum for 40 move speed. So it's basically the haunt is just reworked. At maximum stacks, gain 8 to 20 based on level lethality. These stacks reset 3 seconds after dealing damage to an enemy champion while at maximum stacks. Bro. That makes no sense. How did this get here? This is nuts. Crazy. Crazy, man. Crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy, this item. I don't think this is... I think they should just shift some AP scaling to AD scaling. I just think it's such a weird item. It just doesn't seem to me that Static Shiv has any sense to it in the context of everything else that is being changed. That's why it's so weird. Support item changes. Abyssal Mask is a support item? So this to me is insanity, by the way. I think this is crazy. This is so nuts. This is so crazy. I don't know. Oh, we forgot Prowlers. Okay, Prowlers. It's legendary, 5 AD, 5 AD, 15 lethality, sand swipe active removed. After dashing, blink, or exerting stealth, your next attack on enemy champion deals 85 plus 45% AD for ranged, 10-second cooldown. If the owner is melee, the attack also slows. This doesn't seem too bad, honestly. This seems pretty strong. This seems pretty strong. This seems alright. This seems alright. I think this is okay. Sounds fair to me. I think this sounds pretty balanced to me. Honestly, I have to say though, I'm happy that the Prowler's Claw is out of the game. Like Prowler's Claw out of the game and Gale Force being like less accessible. God bless. Like these two items definitely like broke the game and ran the server way too long. So I'm very happy that's out. I'm very happy that's out. Yumu's Banana Blade, we talked about. Super item change. I think this is crazy to me. Abyssal Mask. Like Abyssal Mask. It's like just having 60 MR and then having this effect on your team. I don't know. This is crazy to me. 60 MR, 300 HP. You buy this item, you're set for MR for the rest of the game. This is crazy to me. Like, you have Sunfire Abyssal, you're unkillable. You're unkillable. This is the passive's unchanged too, man. Do you guys know if this 550 unit starts from the center of the hitbox or from the outside of the hitbox? Nevertheless, I think Abyssal Mask, I will just change this to will get nerfed. I don't know if the weird thing is, I think Abyssal Mask. All right. So super changes. They are making all of the super items cheaper. So 25% magic down, 5% move speed. I feel like a lot of champions that buy Ardent Sensor really like the AP that you get from this item, so I feel like this is a nerf to Ardent Sensor. This item looks pretty garbage. Not gonna lie, this does look pretty garbage, the Ardent Sensor. It's like I'm losing AP and mana regen to get 5% move speed. That's really uninteresting to me. I'm not gonna lie. That's like pretty stinky, I think. Pretty damn stinky. Let's read the passive. You're right, you're right. The passive is better. Granting your attacks 10%, 30%, 5 to 20. Healing or shielding another ally enhances you both for 6 seconds. Granting you 15 to 30% attack speed and 15 to 30. Oh, okay. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I think that's fair. I didn't see, I thought the buff got weaker actually. Okay. Well, that makes it better. Yeah, that makes it better for sure. I like the fact that it's at a cheaper price point. And I guess they needed to be careful to make sure that this is not an item that is bought like in mid perma because it's so cheap. I like the fact that super items become cheaper and they try to find the balance of making sure that mid laners don't buy them and top laners don't buy them. Yeah. So I understand why they make items cheaper and remove some of the stats and put more, you know, value into the effect. Okay. I didn't read the unique passive thing. I think this is like a benefit. I think, at least in my mind, when I read that this item is 200 gold cheaper, I can see scenarios where supers actually reach 2 items more frequently. And I think that would make the game more interesting. Does this work on AoE shields? Yes, it does. AoE healing, AoE shields. Yeah. It can buff multiple allies, yes, Jamie. Alright, Chalice. Chalice of Blessing. Ruby Crystal Fairy Charm. 200 health. So that's 50 health up from Ruby Crystal, Fairy Charm, and 250 gold. 50% base mana regen. Gain 25% base health regeneration for every additional... Okay, so this is a pretty decent lane item. Like, for laning, this looks fucking gorgeous. I need to know, though, what this builds into, right? Chemtech Putrifier. Oblivion Orb is 200 golds cheaper. Ability is unchanged. Base mana regen down. Heal and shield bar up. And this is completely unchanged. This still looks garbage. So, it is what it is. It's like the only case that we should ever buy Chemtech Putrifier is that if you have limited gold and you needed Oblivion Orb for some reason in the game, which is rarely true, you wanted to walk into a fight with the most amount of stats possible. But, okay, it's cheaper, which is cool. But it's like, would I want Chemtech Putrifier over, let's say, Ardent Sensor? Probably not, in most games, right? So Echoes of Helios. So Chalice of Harmony builds out of this and Bandglass Mirror 400 Gs. Base mana regen. Gain 3 ability power per 25 base mana regeneration. So you get 12 AP. 12 AP, right? 3... Is it 12? 15. 15. Math. 15 AP. 45 AP for the item. Dealing damage to an enemy champion grants a soul shard up to 2 maximum. Healing or shielding an ally consumes all soul shards, restores 20 to 100 health and deals 30 to 200 based on ally's level magic damage per shard to the nearest champion. Wow. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I'm very curious how this works with Nami, because Nami has always been such a weird champion when it comes to these buffs. Like... Does Nami stack this? Does it have a cooldown? Can we just check the wiki, guys? Like, this is... We always have to crack the Da Vinci Code when we're looking at it here. Echoes of Helia. There's no cooldown. Who can abuse this the hardest? Who can abuse this the hardest? Like, you need to hit champions, right? So it's definitely, it's gated. Oh, Senna is a good one, guys. Senna is a good one. Senna is a good one. Oh, Ivern. Bro, Daisy is gonna stack fucking shards for you, mate. Daisy is gonna bit connect for you, mate. Any Tibbers? Do you think it procs on Milio passive? I hope not. If it procs on Milio passive, we have a problem, man. If it procs on Milio passive, they need to change it quick. If it procs on Milio passive, we're fucked. It better not. You WT, man. If Milio passive procs this, it will be nerfed. It will be nerfed. There's no way. There's no way, man. Okay. Yeah, well, this to me sounds fair. I don't think this, like, I can't think of like any crazy abuse cases. It's like maybe during Yumi ult, you can get 2 rotations with Soul Siphon off, right? Because you're healing and damaging at the same time. Maybe, right? Maybe you can get 2 circumstances, like 2 rotations of this off, right? I'm trying to think of like crazy cases where you're like fucking peppering this and like having a good time. I don't know if you can do some font of life magic with this, right? Maybe font of life magic can make this nasty. Maybe it's some font of life magic hiding in the position. Like if you're a champion that's bonking and you're font of lifing and the enemy is like hitting. Like let's say you're playing Karma with font of life. Karma with font of life. Ooh. Ooh, now I'm thinking, bro. Karma with Font of Life. Ooh. Karma with Font of Life, guys. What's in it? I think this is where I'm landing right now. This is what I would like to try. Ooh. This looks interesting to me. Tariq is... No, Tariq... It's like... If Tariq is basic attacking, he's already winning the game. Like, how often do you see Tariq like fucking be able to swing his fucking mallet, you know? Like, it's very rare, you know? Dissonance. Gain 3 ability power per 25 base mana regeneration. Disables harmony. Okay. Even Shroud. 200 gold cheaper. Life Well Pendant. I feel like the order of these items is so stupid. It's like this I have Life Well Pendant, but what the fuck is a Life Well Pendant? Do I have to scroll now? Bro, this is a goofy looking item. Cloth Armor Ruby Crystal, 350 Gs. 1050. Hey, Sammy. This is a goofy looking item. I can compare this item to the range support item. I'm not feeling this as much. But it's okay. Like 25 armor, 150 health. That's like decent. But it does look goofy. Like 1050. At least, you know, I personally didn't mind the ruby, the Kindle gem. The Kindle gem was nice to me. Treated me good. It's like here shifting a lot of the price. It's like lowering the price and making the recipe more expensive. I don't get that, man. You want apple cake? Sure, Angel. I would love that. Dingen spelar som jag bara lyssnar på Infected på Spotify. It's not even cost efficient, no. Like it's weird. Like this stat distribution is really weird. 350 gold, the combined cost, and then the combined cost here is 800. That's so tough. Thank you very much, Andrew. Holy apple cake, guys. See. Holy slaps. Can you guys hear this? That's the crust. Jesus. It's apple pie. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Big Business Danny. Appreciate it. I'll grab some later. You don't need to go for me, Angel. It's fine. Appreciate it. 800 gold combined cost. I think that sucks ass. Like, it's cool that it's cheaper, but 800 gold, man, that's a lot of fucking gold to connect. At least it's cheaper. So it's like, in terms of scaling, you're a little bit stronger, a little bit better. It's just cheaper altogether, 200 gold. That's fantastic. But the combined cost is a bit steep. At least, once again, this will help you get 2 items on support, which is nice. You get 2 items on support more often. You'll have to actually have, like, take economical decisions. Imperial Mandate. Alright, this one is exciting because it's no longer a mythic. AP up. Wait, price down. AP up. Price down. AP up. No HP. So we lost health. Abilities that slow or immobilize a champion deal. Alright, we'll just read the other one. Abilities that slow or immobilize champions deal 35 to 75 based on allies level. Bonus magic damage marks them for 4 seconds. 6-second cooldown, so exactly the same. Allied champion detonates the mark, dealing an additional 70 to 150. So it's worse when you're fighting with lower level enemies. Well, the fact that this is legendary, right? I think we're going to see a lot of Rylai's Imperial Mandate mythic builds. Plain and simple. I think of, like, let's say by Imperial Mandate on, yeah, Gragas is a great example. Gragas, let's say by Imperial Mandate on, I was thinking Lilia, Victor, ooh, Swain with Rylai's, sounds fucking funky. I was like, Mandate, it's like Lilia, Gragas. Singed, probably not, man. Singed is tough because it doesn't have HP. Nami can still use it, of course. Maokai. Oh, Maokai. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Maokai is gonna be crazy. Maokai. Maokai is turbo, man. That's a nice one. I don't know. Victor is kind of a funky one because I don't know, the item is very cheap. I think we get the gist of the idea, right? To try. We have a general idea, so we don't need to add more options. Knight's Vow. Cheaper. HP down. Ability haste down for armor. Okay, that's cool. A base health region down. I don't care about this too much in most states of the game. Unique passive. This was changed from post-mitigation damage to pre-mitigation damage. What does this mean? My brain is... Oh. Oh. Do you block more though? You block less, no? You block less. Okay. I also buy it in the same spots, I think. It's fine. Locket, also 800 gold recipe, but it's cheaper, so there's two sides to that coin. Mika's Blessing. We have just a few recipe adjustments. We're adding a bit more power into the active heal. Shadows of Harmony, Forbidden Idol. 250. Magic resistance removed. Oh, that's a big buff for mid laners. And no meme, by the way. No meme. Oh, the shield is bigger. That is nice. The shield is bigger. This is a big buff for mid lane. No magic resistance. God bless. Remove all crowd control debuffs from an allied champion. Restore. So it's just the heal is bigger, but I don't really care about that. Gain 25% base health regeneration for every additional 25% base mana regen. Alright, it's like, it's neat, but like, will I ever say the words, guys, I'm gonna regen my HP back up because I have a lot of health regen? Those are words I rarely say if I'm playing fucking Lulu with Mikhails. Moonstone Renewer. Warmox has nothing to do with this. Like, Warmox makes this worse. Because your health regen, in theory, becomes less effective. Also, can you just go double mandate bot? Really OP, no? Is there some kind of cooldown? Or like debuff cooldown? Or is it just per item? I've never seen that in game. I've never seen double mandate happen in game. I don't know if it's individual cooldown or internal cooldown. I don't know if it's... It should be like item cooldown, right? It's like if two people have Heartsteel, like both of them can proc it on the same guy, right? Should be, right? Alright. Healing or shielding ally. So the cool thing about this, right, is that you don't need to be in combat. You just don't need to be in combat. So we no longer have like the juice, but you're just getting 20 to 35% additional heal and shield power the question is if I'm alone in the jungle with my AD carry and there's no other target, does he get the bonus healing? Because he's the nearest ally champion, no? He's also an ally champion. Near himself. Let's just say hello to our friend again. Moonstone. MP4, it has no range. Alright, 800 units. If it had no range. Healing or shielding an animatronic change the effect to the other nearest ally champion within 800, excluding yourself, granting them. If no other ally champions are in the radius, grant the same target an additional... Oh, that's big. So basically, this item just gives you flat heal and shield power, right? It is basically flat heal and shield power. Because look at it, the even wiki are writing it the same way. But this is old. What the fuck is this? 5 stacks. There's no stacks. So it's just heal and shield power, which is nice. It's just heal and shield power. You're gonna R people and heal everyone to full. It's gonna be a good time. Yeah, I think this should you just buy it on Sona, on Soraka, you know. It's a no-brain buy. Radiant Virtue. 500 gold down. 50, 10 ability haste. Oh, MR and armor is unchanged. Let's see the passive. Ooh. Eesh, this is painful. This was a really OP part of this item. What happens if it's AoE shield, heal or shield? Doesn't matter. There's no cooldown, no nothing. It's just heal and shield power. Think of it like this. When casting your ultimate, you transcend for 9 seconds. While transcending increases your maximum health by 12.5, so it's lowered. And cause you and allies within to heal 2.5% of your maximum health upon transcending, and every 3 seconds thereafter. Okay. So you 10% instead of 12%. This doesn't seem too bad. This doesn't seem too bad. 500 gold down. 500 gold cheaper. 500 gold cheaper is kind of a big deal, I think. I think this is okay. I think this is like fine. Both ways. It's like I think the nerfs compensate for the buffs. Redemption. Shadows of Harmony, Forbidden Idol. Well, that's pretty big. This is nice. Okay. Like this bonus healing here. Really big. It lost ability haste though. Oh, that's true. That is true. How much did it have? How much did it have? 15. Ooh. Okay, that fucking hurts. If it was 10, I'd be like, ah. Okay, that's painful. How much did it have? 15 sounds like a weird number. Did it have 20? Or 10? 15? Ooh. Kindle Gem, Bandle Glass Mirror, recipe cost down, AP down. Okay, nerf. But cheaper. Okay. Staff of Flowing Water, AP down, Ether Wisp, Forbidden Idol. More AP. Fine. Watchful Wardstone. Can only be purchased after completing your super quest. Oh. Huh. Yeah, I think that's fair, Wonder. For 1100? Okay. So you don't need to fucking place your wards. You don't need to fucking place your wards. Holy fuck, man. Damn. Is it the first super quest or the second? Like, what do they mean by completing? That's... second? This is interesting. Zeke's convergence. Whatever. Divine Thunderer. Main thing I'm thinking about here is this. Divine Thunderer, as is a buff for the ranged enjoyers of Divine Thunderer. That's where my thought goes instantly. It's like... I think Ezreal could be buying Divine Thunderer in some cases. No, Senna, no. Senna has the lowest base AD in the game and it doesn't scale with levels. Yeah, I think this is like a buff for Ezreal. But yeah, I think it's a good change. Like, Divine Thunder is way too impactful. Way too impactful. Yeah, probably Wonder, yeah. I agree. 3% of range to 2% is nerf, yes. But basically, the reason it's better for range, right, is because they're moving a lot of the power to a portion that is not penalized by the fact that you're a ranged champion. So if more of the strength is going to a portion that is not suffering by the fact that you're ranged, then it's a buff for range, right? Wimble Winter's passive Everlasting Shield no longer consumes the user mana. I didn't even know it consumes mana, dude. Thank you very much, Final Shift, for the Prime Green, I appreciate it. I didn't even know it consumes the mana. I had no clue. Did you know, Wonder, that it consumes your mana? I had no clue. That's hilarious. Alright. Thank fucking God. Thank God. This was so stupid. Why was this in the game? At least you will buy Void Staff and it will be meaningful. So that's nice. You'll never get cucked by an item. This is a massive buff for mages. Massive buff. You buy Liandry because the enemy has tanks and then you stack enemy Force of Nature instantly. It was definitely a good time. The thing is, Force of Nature was Adaptive Helmet on crack. Gore Drinker 100 25. Okay, well, what should I say? Hullbreaker 10 AD, 5% move speed for 200 gold. Yeah. No, it's like they removed the adaptive helmet from the game because it was toxic, and then they added Force of Nature. That's like why I wanted to like bring that up, you know. Wing Moonplate is the move speed pants. It gives HP and move speed. Lord Dominic's now multiplies magic damage through its passive effect. I have to say, like, a lot of people talk about this like it's a fucking big deal, but I really don't think it is. I think this is really fucking whatever. I'm not gonna lie, I think this is really whatever. Why? Let me tell you why. Like if I'm buying LDR, I'm buying it because I'm dealing a lot of physical damage. And the enemy has a lot of armor. I'm not buying LDR if I'm dealing a lot of magic damage. Then I have Ginzus. I don't think this is that big of a deal. Okay, it's a buff, of course. It's a buff, of course. But it's not that big. If I'm buying Rageblade, I'm not buying this. Like if I'm playing Kog'Maw, it's like percentage penetration stacks multiplicatively. I can't fucking say that word. But guys, the conditions for Giant Slayer to work is insanity. Look at this. Corki. So this is like, you asking Corki means that you don't understand this item at all, right? It's like, this item has 30% armor penetration. And that's why you're buying it. You're buying it because you're dealing a lot of physical damage and you need armor pen. I think the first patch note said it would give magic pen. No, it didn't. It never did. I'm 100% sure it never did. Look at when you get the maximum bonus, okay? 25% is at 2.5k health. So it's 1% per 100 greater maximum health. It's very extreme. It's very extreme for you to get maximum value. Thing is, it's like, sure, you might have a little Storm Razor proc or something, a little bit of magic damage. You know, it's fine. What about LDR on Kaiser? No, I already have Ginzu. And I'm dealing a lot of magic damage. And I already have Ginzu. It's like, sure, there's like some magic damage sources on some champs. It's a fine change. But it's not as good as you make it out to be. It looks good on Akshan, so once again, it's like on Akshan is really whatever. Right? And in a lot of cases, Akshan, I see most Akshan players, they go Cyrilla. This is, for example, like a formula, right? Okay, we go back. Lost Chapter. This is a giga buff. This is a crazy buff. 200 gold down on an item that is really fucking strong. Bro, it's like we talked so much about AD carries, but maybe I'm just gonna play fucking Heimerdinger bot. I'm gonna be playing like... It's like Bro, you can probably like Sapphire Crystal, Futures Market, 3 waves into Lost Chapter, into enemy can FF. Think about jungle as well, alright? So let's say I'm Karthus, I start Raptors, I do full clear into bot, and then I do a little crab, and then I do my Raptors and Golems again, I base on 1100, and I base on Lost Chapter. Lost Chapter, this is a massive buff. This is, do you need perfect CS for cheat the Lost Chapter back? Yeah. This is crazy. This item is so terrible. They're just nuking it. Okay. This item is just getting nuked. Rabadubia, 5% AP. Ooh. Ooh. I think it depends on if you buy pots or not. Oh, I could see that. Okay. I just don't know how much gold from futures market you can take when you have 3. Death cap. Wow. Wow. When Lifeline triggers, the user will also gain... Oh, this item is kind of garbage, so I think it's fine, it's cool. See, wow, 10 AD. That's why Wunder wanted to buy Strikebreaker on Samira. Ooh. Okay. Trinity Force, 3-4 strike duration. That is a very nice buff. That's a very nice buff. 5 AD, 5% attack speed. Big. Really big. Very nice. Juicy item. Big change for Trinity Fork. Bless up. Triforce. Through the roof, guys. Early game adjustments. Mana region per tick. Okay. Back in the olden days, home guard timer. 20 to 14 minutes. Neat. I like that. Good change. Makes the game quicker. But remove hex gates. Blastcon spawn time. Over the river walls. Initial spawn. Wow. This is so big for bot dives. This is so big for bot dives. So big for bot dives. Okay. Okay. This we talked about a lot. Except for the first spawn of minions, mid lane minions will meet at the same time as side lanes. Minions that are currently attacking enemy turret will ignore call for help signals to target enemy champions. Let them focus. I hate this change. This change, I really fucking hate it. I really hate this change. Really don't like it. Really wonder. That is crazy. No, this doesn't make dives easier. The enemy can hit you. The enemy can hit you and your minions won't fight back. I really don't like this change because my minions are not gonna fight with me, man, when the enemy is hitting me. So basically, it's like, if I'm stacking a wave with Jace, and if I'm harassing the guy under the turret, he can just fucking hit me back. Let's say it's range versus range. He can just hit me back, and the minions won't attack him. I could just fucking hit him back. Like, I think that's really bad. I hate this change. This is a very weird change if their idea is to, like, they're talking about fucking diving the enemy and denying enemy bot wave. So basically, how minions work, right? Minions are like little walking turrets. If a champion hits you, they are gonna aggro to defend you. And under the turret, it was the same. How do you even program like this? It's just targeting priority. It's not that hard. They just move the targeting priority to hitting turrets above hitting champions that are being hit, that are hitting your teammates. I don't even care about the dive portion. The dive portion matters less. It's more about the fact that this fucks up lane matchups. I don't care about the dive portion. Bro, if you want to make it harder to dive, there's different ways to do this than to fuck up lane phase. I don't like this. Yeah, it's like the fucking enemy could just start fucking punching you and hitting you. It's like if I'm playing Jace, Cannon, whatever, like a ranged champion, I want to harass the enemy guy under the turret when I have a big wave, like he'll be able to fight back and like he can just turn on me. Like I don't like this. I think it's garbage. Same, if you're playing Caitlyn Lux, you want to harass the guy under the turret, they can like hit you back maybe. Obviously, it's like in a lot of cases they can't, but your minions not fighting back is... I don't like that. I don't like that. This, on the other hand, once again, I think it's a buff for mages, but keep in mind, a change like this, right? So, the minions will crash same time, right? They will crash same time. But if I push, okay? If I push, and in my top laner is strong enough to stack 2, the enemy mid laner will have less... The window of him needing to push, it's like my window to roam is bigger. Because the minions will come later. Do you understand? It's like, if I go, and the enemy mid lane wants to push the next wave to make me show, it will take him longer time. What do you mean minions don't come later? They literally come later. Soul combustion. Wait, sideways are faster? Wait, I thought they slowed down mid. I apologize. Okay. Silent minions will be sped up. Oh. No leash. The first spawn of minions is the same speed. Wonder. The first spawn of minions is the same speed. You still have to leash. Oh wait, how does this change now? Your base timings now change, no? Bro, it's like, but your base time is gonna change. Because the wave will be faster. So like if you base, You have to have a longer way to walk. The enemy has more time to push, to crash. Fuck. I thought the entire time that they're going to slow down the mid minions. I don't know, Kevin. It's to speed up the game? No, it slows down the game. I thought this entire time that the minion mid-wave will be slower. It's like you can push waves faster now on site. Another big part of this, right, is what Wundo said, right? It's like it will be a lot more realistic to contest objectives through top and bot. If the enemy is on mid and you're pushing bot same time. Like first Herald, first Drake, second Drake, two Drake. Yeah, I wonder if this will change anything, right? It's like if I'm stacking a wave, right? And then let's say I'm pushing the third wave in. And let's say I am not pushing the third wave, like the window for me to cheat the base has gotten so much smaller. It just has gotten smaller. So it's like if I have a champion that can't push cannon, but like second wave will be fucking drifting. Bro, it's like your melees are gonna die and then another wave is walking in. Holy shit. Maybe you just dive on second wave. Yeah. Probably you can't. Bro, if you hard push wave 1, if you hard push wave 1, you're gonna have like 11 CS versus 6. Well, let's say you hard push wave 1 and then the next wave is coming super fast. The wave is just fucking drifting up. But the issue is the minions are not fighting with you, so when you dive, like, they don't give a fuck about you anymore. Yeah, it's really weird. It's like, I imagine a situation where it's like, let's say you hit the shit out of wave 1, and then it's like you have 6 more minions coming in, and let's say you have like 5 minions, 1 nearly died, and you have fucking 11 minions versus 6 already at minute 2. Like, that can get crazy. And then you dive, as you said. But now minions don't dive with you, yeah? You would have to do like some split map shenanigans for sure. The science strat's gonna go really hard. You just do the science strat every champ, by the way. Just fucking dive anyway. Fucked up. This is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be interesting. Bro, I really thought that they just slow down mid. But if they slow down mid, then yeah, my solution would not help them, right? Freeze 12 with 12 minions. But wait. Will this also fuck with the freezing of waves? Well, no, it shouldn't, because both waves are walking equally fast, so it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. Yeah, but the enemy minions are also faster, so it should be the same, right? I thought initially, oh, it's gonna matter because the minions walk faster, but the enemy minions walk just as fast. Well, to dive, probably you just have to stack mid waves, right? You have to stack mid waves and you have to stack side waves. It'll be like much harder to do like one wave dives. It'll have to be like a lot more planned. But I think dives will still happen. It's like if I'm stronger bot and I can stack 2 waves and my mid lane can also stack 2 waves and crash, right? Yeah, it's definitely more rare. For sure it's more rare on mid. It's very rare to stack mid waves, for sure, yeah. Well, it's like if my jungle is in river and 2v2 is stronger, right? And let's say the mid wave is like neutral, and maybe there's like some potential, but either way, right? Like if I'm crashing on bot, it's like the wave is faster, right? If I sack one wave, the wave will be bot same time. I'm here, we crack, kill it, and we dive, right? I still think that will be fine. Beveche, I had the same thought for a second, but the enemy minions walk just as fast, so it doesn't matter. Like where you freeze is the same. It's like the enemy minions are walking also faster. So it ends up equal. But the next wave will come faster to help them from getting dove? Ooh. That doesn't matter. Lost chapter level 1 TP top. Where are you getting this gold from, Wonder? Are you going smite? What's happening? Yeah, Kartus? Dive bot level 1. Scion strat. So you get all the kills. You get the kills. Give me the kill. Give me the kill. You need more. You need more than 400 gold, dude. How much You need more than 400 gold, bro. That leaves you with 750 and futures market level 1. But then probably you should buy Amptome and not Sapphire. Just go Amptome. $350, $500, $900. $150. Holy shit. Wunder broke the meta. Holy shit. Wunder broke the meta. Leave me the kill, leave me the kill. Okay. Leave me the kill, leave me the kill. Give me the kill. Hell yeah. That's a good time. That Champions base AD plus, whichever was higher, but Champions now deal the total AD plus 60% of their ability power. Holy fuck. Nice. Hybrid champions. Yes. Yes. Hybrid. 2 games on Brom. Turret plating. Plate rushes down resistances. 20 seconds after taking a plate. Okay. So just making platings tankier. Okay. TP 10 minutes. Unleashed. Oh. Oh. Okay. So basically I will pretty much I'm not timing TP. It's 240 always. It's like minute 10. It's like everyone's level 7, 8. Like it's not gonna be like that big of a deal. So it's whatever. If you take Ignite now, you're trolling. Well, yeah, you're gonna TP once for lane between minute 1 and 6. You have to TP back, and then you're gonna TP bot. Let's be honest. Between minute 1 and 6, you have to TP to lane. If you want to TP top, minute 7, 8, 9, you can go fuck yourself. Trinket changes. Oh, Fireside will now provide vision over walls. Nice. They will ping enemy champions. What? Why is the ward gonna kill itself? Why? Why? Why does it kill itself? Why does my ward kill itself? Wait, this will X-ray always? Will this always X-ray? Damn. What's the purpose of this? The goal is to make them more usable and intuitive, as well as keep up with modern standards in the league. We're happy with Stealth Trinket, but both Farsight and Oracles have room to improve. Farsight is undervalued even though they have a unique range advantage, so we added pings and another scryer to help connect their value back to the ward placement. So it's basically a clairvoyance, okay? How is this undervalued? It's like so important in the metagame. It's like, oh, we have blue trinkets. We're gonna rotate them on Nash to check if they're doing it. Because we based. So it's basically a clairvoyance that removes itself if you spot a champion. That's interesting. Okay. It has to kill itself because otherwise you could like hide it behind walls and spot people, right? And that would be like imbalance. If the owner of Warlock Lens is actively hitting a ward, their team will now gain vision of the ward so they can completely clear it out. Wow. The X-ray is permanent until it detects someone. Wow, this is a massive change. Wow, this is a super big change. This is crazy, crazy big, by the way. So you're just gonna have like fucking 6 sweepers on your team? What are wards? This is so big. This is so big. Doesn't matter that it's half the time. It's like the way people place wards. The way people place wards in competitive is to separate them enough to make sure that one lens can't sweep them. So as long as you sweep one ward with your lens, it will be like... It's already like value. This is super big. By the way, this is such a nerf to Teemo. It's such a nerf to Teemo. Teemo's getting completely fucked. Rip Tito. Oh shit. Alright, that's a massive patch.